Hey guys, welcome again. This is Alex, and in this video I'm going to give you the summary of chapter 2 and chapter 3 of the book Behind the Scene of Banyamulenge Military. So in these two chapters, 2 and 3, it talks about I will tell you about the relationship with Belgians, the Banyamulenge Belgians relationship, and then Simba Mulele with Banyamulenge, and then Mobutu with Banyamulenge, and then many Banyamulenge joining FARS or Force Armée Zaïroise, or the Congo Zaire Army, because at that time Congo was known as Zaire. That was the old name of Congo. And then after that I'm going to talk about Nyakayange, one of the female Banyamulenge army who joined the Zairean army. So let's begin. So when the Belgians, the European, came to Congo or Eastern Congo, first they did not have a good relationship with Banyamulenge Tutsis. So I always knew that was missing, because if you look at other people, they have chiefdom, and then if they were called Rwandans, that's from the Belgians, not from them. So everything is created by Belgians, by the Europeans, because the Europeans, they did not get along with Banyamulenge. So one of the reasons they did not get along with Banyamulenge is that when the Europeans came, they took Banyamulenge cows. They established farms in Haut Plateau, the area where Banyamulenge live. So if you touch a Banyamulenge cow, you're not going to get along with them. You will fight, you're not going to get along. So they never got along with the Belgians. So Belgians stole the cows. Also, Belgians took some of the Banyamulenge children to school, but some kids were kidnapped. They never came back. After that, Banyamulenge never trusted the Belgians. So every time they come to take kids to school, the Banyamulenge would refuse to give them the children. As a result, there were no contact between the Belgians and the Banyamulenge. So you can see how it's not working. So the Europeans came, they're not getting along with Banyamulenge, but they're getting along with neighboring tribes of Banyamulenge. They are sending the neighboring tribes, they are sending their children to school, but Banyamulenge, they are not, because they are the cows. The Belgians has messed with the cows. Also in World War II, some Banyamulenge, they joined army. One of them is, so it was only one Banyamulenge who joined the European, the Belgians army when they were fighting in World War II. So, but this Banyamulenge who joined the white people army, he was kind of cast out of the tribe, because nobody could understand why in the world is he trusting those people who has done so much evil to our community. So also those white people soldiers during World War II, they ate a lot of cows of Banyamulenge. So they were in the same areas, territories, Uvira area, Plaine de Ruzizi, and Haut Plateau. So they took so many Banyamulenge cows and they would eat them during World War II. So all those are facts that contribute to Banyamulenge separating themselves, not having any contact with the Belgians. So if other people say that we have a chiefdom and you don't, we need to think more. Who decide where those chiefdoms should limit, should go, and how far? Who made the map of those chiefdoms? Those are Europeans. So you can say the chiefdoms were already there. That's not accurate. That's not true. And if the Belgians were the one dividing and mapping up their land, and this belongs to this group, and they're not getting along with Banyamulenge, what do you expect? Of course, they're gonna leave them out. They even called them Rwandans, as linguistically they speak them close to Rwanda, and the Belgians were the one who colonized both Burundi, Rwanda, and Congo. So if they see Tutsis in Burundi and Rwanda, and they go to Congo, they see people who look like them. So you can see they kind of excluded the Banyamulenge from the Congolese. So even though they are Congolese and they were always in the area. So that's the relationship between Banyamulenge and the Belgians in in all years. So another thing is that Banyamulenge, they were never converted to Christianity by Europeans. So if they come, they convert other tribes to Christianity, and the Banyamulenge, they refuse. That shows that those people, they don't have a good relationship. So the Belgians, they came all that time, 1920s, none of the Banyamulenge were converted to Christianity. So they were just living, I don't know what they worshipped, but they were not. And then after the Europeans have left those missionaries, that's when other tribes, they came to preach to Banyamulenge. The Bembe people, the Fulero, they came to preach to Banyamulenge, and that's when Banyamulenge, they converted to Christianity, but they were never converted by Europeans because they never had a good relationship with the Europeans, the Belgians. So basically, so that shows how even the Banyamulenge, they are very new to the religion of Christianity. So the people who converted to Christianity, the first ones of Banyamulenge, they are still alive, some of them, till today. So all those explains how we had not, our ancestors never had a good relationship with the Europeans, and all those things we are struggling today. We cannot ignore the fact that the Belgians, they contributed to this chaotic we are dealing now in Eastern DRC. So now I'm done. So by 1960s, the country just had independence. That's when the rebellion of Simba Mulele came. So those were against maybe they were with Lumumba, they were against Mobutu. So those guys, they were made of neighboring tribes of Banyamulenge. So of course it was all over the country. But in the area, the Fulero Bembe, the tribes neighboring Banyamulenge, they also joined the rebellions of Simba Mulele, and the Banyamulenge also joined the Simba Mulele. So the Banyamulenge were not left behind. They were among of the rebel movement, working with all those other tribes neighboring them, working together. And then later on, the other tribes, they start eating some of Banyamulenge cows, just like what Belgians has been doing. So after they did that, Banyamulenge, they kind of pulled from them. And then after that, they start fighting with the Mai Mulele. And then when Mobutu saw that there's some group of civilians, of people defending themselves against those rebels fighting Mobutu, Mobutu called them. So about 200 Banyamulenge young people, they were trained by Mobutu Army, and they're given weapons, and then they put them in different locations like Bibokoboko, Bijombo, in those areas to protect Banyamulenge and to protect themselves. So Mobutu was benefiting from those civilians fighting his enemy, and Banyamulenge also benefited from protecting their cows. So even today, all the violence happening is simply because Banyamulenge, they are protecting themselves and their cows. That is what's happening, and that's the reality, that's the truth. So Mobutu and Banyamulenge. So after Banyamulenge, they defeated the Mai Mulele, Mobutu trusted them. He recruited way more in the Congolese army. They joined the army, they trained, and then some went to school like for army to become officers, and they became officers, and others, so they went to college, and that's when Banyamulenge started going to school for the first time, because they never went to school during the European. Other tribes did, but us, we never trust the Europeans, and we never had the education. So basically, all the education we had was our people who went to school first. They were taught by Congolese. So Banyamulenge joining school, but they struggled because some of the like military ranks, they require people to have like education, college degree, and then passing exam, and also some even require a bachelor degree. So Banyamulenge, they were behind in terms of education because of not going to school when Europeans were in the area. So by 1960s, some went to college, and very few made qualifications for obtaining those degrees. I mean, those military officers. So, and then that's pretty much what's for now. So, and then Nyakayang. So, Nyakayang is a Banyamulenge female army. He went to college in Kinshasa. She graduated in Kinshasa 1980s, and then 1990 he joined the army, Congo Army. And then one thing I need to mention about Nyakayang is about by 2002 when Masunzu was fighting with Mutebutsi. Those are two Banyamulenge. One of them was supported by Rwanda, the other one was pretty much independent. So they had a fight, and then of course Rwanda had to send a lot of troops to help Mutebutsi to fight Masunzu. But many Banyamulenge joined Masunzu, and this was like the darkest time of Banyamulenge because we killed each other because of Rwanda dividing our people. So long story short, Mutebutsi, they lost the battle, they left the Congo, they also went to Bukavu, they had the battle with Mbusamabe, and then they also lost the battle there, then he went to Rwanda. Later on, he died in Rwanda. So, that was like, so one thing I need to mention about this Nyakayang, so she was with Masunzu, so she was working with Masunzu during this war, Banyamulenge, Mutebutsi versus Masunzu, who are both Banyamulenge, but one of them supported by Rwanda. So, the reason I mentioned Nyakayang is because this is someone who went to college in Congo, someone who studied in Kinshasa, someone who all her life is in Congo. She thinks as a Congolese. So this is how things are. If you go to school in Rwanda, you will think like Rwandan people. So if you need to, if you're Munyamulenge and you love Congo, you love Minembwe, you love your country, the good suggestion is to go to school in your country. Think like Congolese. But the moment you go outside, there's a lot of distraction. People will teach you whatever they want to teach you. But if you study in your country, so in this situation, you can see how Nyakayang went to the Masunzu side, not to Mutebutsi side. So both we're all Banyamulenge, we're all good people. We need to work together. So, but that's pretty much what I learned from these two chapters, 2 and 3. So, peace, 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 peace.